Up. Hey there, I'm Oryx, trapped once again in this pre-manufactured digital hellscape to tell you all about Zerjester's Threadless Warehouse. Yes, I am contractually obligated to say it that way. Anyway, if you're a geek, then have we got a reasonably enticing offer for you. Just look at all these designs, guaranteed to brighten your day and or be used against you in a future investigation. But fear not, living well and looking fabulous is the best revenge, so you can count on Zerjester Threadless Warehouse to facilitate your vendetta. I look amazing, and you will suffer as I have suffered. We've got everything except the ability to fill that emotional void left behind when capitalism hollowed us out like a melon. Working hard or hardly working through the trauma inflicted upon you by a system designed to reduce your humanity down to little more than a singular person-shaped profit function. Am I right? But in the meantime, these amazing goods ship globally, so you can let your geek flag fly over damn near every territory. Well, almost. Come on out to Zerjester Threadless Warehouse. It's not a warehouse. It's not even a physical location. Why do you insist on having me participate in this ongoing campaign of misinformation? Who hurt you as a child? And say howdy. There's still plenty of time left to treat yourself before the billionaires flee our planet as it deep fries itself into a charcoal briquette. Godspeed, Mr. Bezos. In space, no one can hear you unionize.
Good morning, friends. I have not pushed go start on Captioner. I am frazzled this morning. I got very little sleep. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Lemur Link, D&D Jordan Lee, and Sam. I did the thing again. Shannon. Hi, love. How are you? Clunch. Good morning. It's been an interesting weekend. I hope everyone, am I sounding correctly? Am I inputting profusely? Is the chair the guest? Yes. Hello, welcome, chair. I just touched the chair inappropriately. I apologize for that. Yes, the guest at some point will walk out. There are a few people that know. There are a few people who are in the know. Stop. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. Sounds like you had a good weekend. It was a rough start to the weekend, but then things got profoundly better. Yeah. Why are you so loud in my ear hole? Volume is a weird thing sometimes. How was everyone's Labor Day weekend? Is that the weekend that this was? How was it? How was everyone? Did we have a good time? Can we take a hot second? To, for the moment, wish an absolute happy birthday to Shannon Lee Maker. If we could get some hype in the chat, friends. It is Shannon's birthday. Very special day. Happy birthday, Shannon. Thank you for being so amazing, love. Thank you for almost 2 years now of friendship and joy and silliness and sexiness and just absolute amazing friendship. Happy birthday. I put a scram button on here just in case, and I'm so terrified that I'm going to hit it and accidentally set off Hate Raid DEFCON 5. I had to make it. I found a Red Alert GIF from Star Trek, and it just says scram in large letters. And I'm so terrified that I'm going to hit it and accidentally nuke the stream. But how has everyone's weekend been? I hope you're having an amazing time. Today is going to be an interestingly fun day. Nikki Beholder to no one. Heyo, heyo. I'm going to do some stuff today, and it's going to be amazing. You can unscram it in a matter of moments. I want to push the button. I am having this Ren and Stimpy moment of must push the button. But I'm refraining. I may or may not have pushed it a few times off stream just to see what happens. You can't have a big red button without pushing the big red button at least once, just to make sure that it works. I have a curious. It puts up a message. It makes it slow mode, subscriber mode, clear chat, message drop, lockdown command, timestamp. I believe that's what it does. The order of operations is clear chat, subscriber mode, slow mode, timestamp, scram message, lockdown command. And it was pretty awesome. Washed my car. I actually washed my motorcycle, believe it or not. It may fall apart now. It might have been held together by dust. I don't know. Me and my girlfriend found a game we both like, so we went full ham on that one. I love that. That makes me so full of joy. You have no idea. I tried to do some marketing, which worked out. So I would say, together with a sunny weather, nice. I am looking forward to. I am taking another trip here in 24 days. I'm looking forward to gameplay. I'm doing a farewell tour of California, as a way to just kind of like see all the things that I'm gonna miss at least one last time. The things that aren't currently on fire. Some of my favorite things are on fire. My favorite pizza joint is being threatened by a raging inferno, and I have such a sad, friends. My favorite pizza joint, which is named after buffalo poop, is in danger, and I am so terrified. Went for a few walks, played some games, got small chores done. Yes, I got small chores to do today. That's a good Monday thing. Small chore Monday. I think Small Chore Monday should be a thing. I think it should be a thing. Nothing too daunting, but enough to make you feel accomplished. Small Chore Monday. That would be. I think that's how I'm gonna live my best life. So thank you for that. But yeah, I'm doing a farewell tour of California in 24 days. I am going to one of my favorite places on the planet. To spend time with one of my most belovedly favorite people on the planet. And then 46 days, I will be in Tahoe with another one of my most beloved people on the planet. It is going to be glorious. It's a farewell tour to California. I would like to climb Lassen Peak. I've been wanting to climb that for like 8 years now. But sadly it's on fire, so I'm not going to get to do that. Hopefully I'll be out of here by this time next year. Is the plan. Or thinking of getting all kinds of followers on Twitch while I never will or have streamed. Feels like I should insta-block those accounts. I don't know. Do Twitch streamers, do Twitch viewers follow other viewers to does it give like channel recommendations? Gamora Steph the Bard, welcome on in. Today's gonna be an amazing day. This October is gonna be an amazing month once we get to it. September, heyo, good morning. September is gonna be hopefully a lot of work. October is gonna be a fair bit of downtime, because I need to. Yeah, Sam. Technically a gnome raid. The raid didn't work. Oh no! I hate it when the raid button doesn't work. Dun, 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 dun. Gnome Brew Crew. Did the Gnome Brew Crew come in? Gnome Brew Crew, how was your stream? Did you manual raid? Guess I loaded 556 boxes into a truck just to have only 56 of them go out. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, NASA boy. That's... No! No! Did we analog raid? That's amazing. I love that we did an analog raid. So, no fanfare, but always fanfare in my heart. Gnome Brew Crew, I love you dearly. I hope the stream was well. We had a nice bot raid, so that was... Oh, gosh, damn it. Oh, no. Do better, Twitch. Raid in the form of all just going channel in the regular way. Yeah. Tomorrow. Woo! That's a bad sound. Yeah, bad woo. Woo! Trauma. Tomorrow I may have an unexpected cold. Cheers to the unexpected cold. Oh. Oh, you're allowed. You're allowed. But yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. I finished up that big Greenleaf Geek order, and it is slated to be picked up and shipped. Thankfully, this order doesn't have to go to China. It's going to Canada. If I never have to ship something to China ever again, that was. And darling, good morning. Shipping those 2,400 stones to China was nerve-wracking. So this 200 is going to Canada, and I feel so much better about that. If y'all have never had a $3,000, $4,000 order get stuck in customs for 4 months while like actively participating as a Kickstarter stretch goal reward for the that was just so because you're just like, did I screw something up? Did I mess this up? Did I cause this in some way? And it's just like you can get no information. Like the post office can't tell you anything. You can you just get the runaround from like Chinese postal, you have no idea. You have no idea. So you've got $4,000 worth of work sitting in 2 boxes somewhere in a warehouse in China, and you're just terrified. You're just terrified because it's like, this is a job that saved your butt right after getting laid off and the pandemic and all of that. Like Greenleaf Geek saved my butt. That's the biggest job I've ever done to date. I did 2,400 stones by myself, ahead of schedule. I was a production machine, and it felt good because I've only ever worked production jobs, but capitalism sucks. So being able to do production again on my product at my pace for my joy and my benefit was an amazing sensation. I feel like that's what capitalism should feel like internally. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things of like, I really want to do more Kickstarter stuff. You actually have one of those stones there on your desk? Yay! I want to do more Kickstarter stuff. I have another one coming up. It launches September 20th. Robin Caulfield on Twitter, she is doing a TTRPG Kickstarter for a baseball-themed TTRPG. I am going to be doing... I don't know if Robin understands. When Robin asked me to be a stretch goal... that sounds... I'm a stretch goal. When Robin asked if I wanted to be a stretch goal, I can't say that and not feel slightly pervy. Speaking of stretch goals... I don't know if Robin realized that not only was she getting a physical product as a stretch goal for her TTRPG, but also a hype machine, because I want to see this succeed. A creator has created a whole new a game that is well far off the beaten path of most, TTRPGs. I mean, it's baseball oriented. How many of those are there? Like, I'm not a sports person, but I am excited for this. So like Robin has accidentally hired a massive hype team, like in just little old me. I am gonna hype the heck out of it. I'm loving working myself while not having health insurance, and making the same amount of money, little less here. I've been significantly happier. Yep. Since I started freelancing. Oh yeah, never. I wrote a little song about it yesterday. You may have seen it on Twitter. Never again. Never. Capitalism can kiss every square inch and every single molecule of my muscular buttocks. Never again. Never again. I am not going to change my appearance to appease some job, because what I look like in no way impedes my ability to do things. I am an extremely intelligent and capable individual that is just not going to subject themselves to the type of abuse that I've been subjected to in the workplace for the last 30 years. Oh, fun fact, Sam, I just found out. Apparently I have to change my PayPal to a business PayPal to be able to use that tip jar functionality on Streamlabs. I did not know that. Also, I heard that my day just somehow gotten worse since I had left with mandatory OT of upwards of 20-hour days and 20 days in a row. Listen, now you're speaking to my nightmare, Nikki Beholder to No One. My job at the newspaper, I started as a peon, just an absolute peasant in the insertion department, and worked my way up to foreman, department manager, thinking that like this was upwardly mobile capitalism at its finest, and I am doing the American thing. I got married. I had stepkids, and like I was upwardly mobile at my job. Let me tell you. I regret converting to a business account to use Streamlabs. I mean, that Pixely Jinx, that's why I didn't do it yet. That's why I haven't done it yet. I worked at the newspaper as the foreman. They treated people like trash. So I couldn't find like subordinates to work under me to run the show while I was not there. I didn't get a day off for years, literal years, while working salary. And at the time, I don't know what salary is calculated at now. It was double minimum wage is the minimum. So I was working 7 days a week, 15 to sometimes 24-hour shifts for years, without a day off. And anytime because that's illegal. That's illegal. So to cover their ass, whenever you would bring that up, they would say, well, don't do that. But the newspaper needs to get out, and I don't have anyone to run it while I'm not here. Well, that's a you problem. If you need to find a way to fix that problem, because we're telling you, don't work that many hours. So find a way to fix the problem. It's your department. Fix the problem. Meanwhile, nothing you ask for gets approved. Your budget has actually been cut. And we won't treat employees decently, so you can't actually hire anybody that is willing to be subjected to that kind of treatment for that little pay. So bend over, here comes a capitalism. To the point where, like, I finally got one person that was willing to take on the mantle of shift supervisor to give me 2 days off a week, at least. And then I come to work one day, his name was Ezekiel. I come to work one day, and Zeke just walks up and he goes, I work on the press now? I was like, what are you talking about? You hear Leaf on my end or on yours, Sam? I can actually probably go ahead and put my filter back on. Filters. On yours? I've got a train in the distance. But They just up and stole Zeke and moved him to another department. Didn't tell me. Nobody told me. So as soon as I saw the human resources lady, I asked, what the actual fuck? Maureen? Like, now I can't have days off. Y'all told me to fix the problem so I don't work overtime and I can have days off as a salaried employee. And I did that. Okay? And then you took I only had one good employee that could do the job, that would do the job, that wanted to do the job. And then you just up and move them to the press. Like, that was my only good candidate. And the human resources lady, this is why I'll never trust human resources as a profession. The human resources lady looked at me and said, "This is distribution. You don't get to have good employees." like it's funny, like it's a joke, like that's not the reason why people lose their shit and break things at jobs. This is how computers get thrown into the machinery. This is how wooden shoes get chucked into the gears of production, because fuck you, I'm gonna burn it down, Maureen. You're the reason I'm gonna burn it down, Maureen. I would be punching faces and walking out at that point. Yes. I mean, how do you justify saying something that hell? Like, it's not like, Maureen, your sense of humor sucks. I don't know if that was your attempt at a joke, but it was bad. It was bad. It wasn't great. You should not do humor. Human resources and stand-up comedy are not compatible professions. I don't need my human resources agent to be a fucking comedian, Maureen. You suck, Maureen. Maureen, you suck. I hate you, Maureen. I still, to this day, I wish bad things on Maureen for that one comment. May forever she stub her toe on things. As someone who worked for her HR hiring distribution centers, I wanted to. It was just the gleefully like, you don't get to have good employees. Hee hee. I did a funny. No, you did an inciting violence. Is what, like, my urge to just literally lift up the heaviest thing I could and throw it into the moving machinery. Thank you so much, Nomadic, for hosting the stream. Joke's on you, Sam. I'm into that shit. Yeah, HR is not your friend. HR is not your friend. And this is how you end up with 0 good employees. What I love is I finally, like, that was the straw. That was the straw. Maureen was the straw. And I started actually speaking the words that popped into my head after that. Without reservation, and telling the publisher of the newspaper exactly what I thought of him and his organization, and probably his dog too. I'm pretty sure I told him what I thought of his ugly dog. That led to, a few months later, my department going in a different direction, which I was okay with. Yeah, it's like, it's right there in the name. Human resources. They're resource management. You are the resource that they are there to manage. They're there to placate you and get you back on the front line. I once made a cool plan, and my manager said I had $2,000 of budget, but when the plan was complete and he had to pay up, he said, "Well, you didn't type she gets paid, so we don't pay her anything." They were very surprised I gave them my leave notice the next day. Oof. My job was shocked when I said I didn't have a plan yet when I put my notice in. I'll figure it out. It just won't be here. Oof. Yeah. Like, you know what? I'll take uncertainty over the certainty of y'all's shitty workplace. I will take the uncertainty of not having a job over the absolute certainty that y'all are shit to work for. I would rather wake up and not know than wake up and go to your place of employment. Which is saying a lot, since I have a major anxiety with uncertainty. Yeah. Oh, I feel that. I feel that in my soul. But yeah, it's very... I've got wild stories from my time working overnights at the newspaper. It is no longer... your paper is no longer delivered by a cute 12-year-old on a 10-speed or a 10-year-old on a 12-speed. Like, there is a very, very particular breed of folk who deliver newspapers, 700 plus newspapers in the middle of the night. There's a couple of breeds. There is like the absolute introvert who does not want to people at all, and I respect that. Those were the best. Those carriers were amazing. They came in, they were personable as much as they could be. They just couldn't work with the public. They would much rather sit in their car at 3 a.m. and throw paper out a window. More power to them. They came in, they got their paper, they said howdy do, and they went about their day. Wonderful, glorious people. I would take a bullet for any of those people. They're absolutely amazing folk. And then there's the other demographic, which is the uber paranoid, super conspiracy theory, doing this so that they can stay off the public radar, super meth labby in your van people. The amount of atrocities I've seen committed in the parking lot of a newspaper at 2 o'clock in the morning would scar you for life. The things I've seen in a newspaper parking lot committed by carriers would scar you for life. I've been assaulted. I've witnessed assaults. I had a gun pulled on me once. Multiple knife fights. Somebody had a mobile meth lab in their van. People stealing cars. Somebody stole the forklift once just to go to the store down the street because they didn't feel like walking or taking their car. I've got stories. I'm also out of coffee. But yeah, the newspaper industry is wild these days. The death throes of the print industry. And I've always said the print industry could survive the internet because the print industry used to be focused on the community at large, used to be a proud member of the community. But then they started raising their prices and decreasing their presence in the community. And now, like, I don't give a shit about the local paper because it's no longer the local newspaper. I have no idea I used to know who the reporters were and who did what sections. I used to care about that stuff because they were actively embedded in the community at a prolific level. And now they're just McDonald's with newspaper, proudly serving copy 12,000. A neighbor that retired, a lot of retirees, and used to deliver papers to help pay for food. Yeah, there was quite a few retirees. Some of them were actively awful people. The one thing I do miss was my crew. I missed my crew so bad. I worked predominantly with a lot of older Hmong women. Thank you, web captioner, for getting that word right. And they were just the most delightful people I have ever had the pleasure of working with in my life. I don't like working with white people. I'm sorry. I said it. I don't like working with white people. The level of entitlement. I can't do it. Between working at Lowe's and some of the other places I've worked, look, I'm sorry to all of my thin-skinned, pale family members out there, but y'all are too entitled for me to work with. I worked with the crew I had was predominantly older Hmong women, and they're fucking hilarious. They were pranksters. Whew, they were pranksters, and just an absolute joy to work with. As a manager, I love nothing more than rolling up my sleeves and working side by side with them, because it was so much easier than just dealing with manager bullshit. It was so much easier and so much more fun. I miss I miss my crew from the newspaper so bad. They were such amazing people. Just brought Bean out from her nap and started looking for my phone because she could hear her Uncle Nick's. Oh no, no, oh. But yeah, I don't like workplaces full of white people. It's not a fun. It's never been a fun experience for me. Boy, that was a rambling, confusing rant I just went on, talking about the newspaper industry on a Monday. That's... Here we go. But how are y'all doing? As a white people, I can agree. The level of... It's the entitlement for me. I mean, I understand. Like, workers unite, unionize. I get it. As a group, we should be fighting for our actual entitlements at the job, not being entitled white people at the job. There's a huge difference between fighting for what you're entitled to as in a workplace and just being an entitled asshat and just the things that are demanded. Cedar Forge, good morning, friend. Guten Morgen. My family's a lot like that too. I just got tired of arguing about it. Yep. It was the same. I thought I'd found a better job when I worked for the manufacturing company that made assistive products for people with disabilities and whatnot, like stuff that attachments and accessories for like wheelchairs, walkers, scooters, the different types of crutches and canes, just assistive like bags and baubles and products that I absolutely loved. I loved that job. The products are amazing. I still have a bunch of them that I bought and took home. But the boss was such an entitled, ableist white dude that oh god. I like when I first met him, it's because he was recovering from like a lot of cancer surgeries and whatnot, and he was terrified of his mortality. So he was a much nicer person, which speaks volumes to where you're only nice to people when you think you might be dying. That says a lot about your character. But then I got to meet the real him when he actively started recovering. Do I have to finish sanding these Dice Masters? Can I just not do 4 more levels of sanding? Oof, blackjack. I still know people who say, well, if you want to get your voice out, you have to scream. Like, this dude, there's the level of ableism in this guy. Dan from Disco Manufacturing. That's what sucks, is I love the product. But God, he's got this like ableist savior complex that is so fucking annoying. And like I got laid off just as the pandemic kicked off because I started calling him on his bullshit. The ableist saviors are just some of the most scummiest fuckers I have ever met in my life. Watching somebody tell a person with, who's been living their entire life with a disability, it is their disability and they fucking understand how their body works perfectly well, and they know what they need or don't need. To watch an absolutely able-bodied asshole try to fucking explain why people need what he thinks they need on their mobility accessory is fucking infuriating to a level I had not known prior to meeting this man. Like I had heard the term white savior before and I understood it. I had never met an ableist savior, someone who thinks that like a person who is disabled in some fashion like can't possibly, I have vinyl in my hair. Can't possibly know what they need for their mobility accessory. What an absolute cement block of a human being. Wait, what are we burning down? Are we burning like my spider senses tingle? My boss denied me days off for mental health because because it was the day prior when I felt I was spiraling. The next day, a rest day was needed because I didn't plan ahead. I ended up having to get my first FMLA so I could take a risk of punishment for it. Ugh. 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 Morning, Locke. We're discussing prior workplace experiences and the joys, not joy, sarcasm of a capitalism. That probably didn't make sense. No, it made sense. That, you know, if you're going to need a mental rest day, I'm going to need you to schedule it 3 weeks in advance. Business model ain't helpful. And it's absolutely infuriating. And they wonder why employees burn out at such a prolific rate. They wonder why employees just burn out. You know, and that's the thing, is just like, it, you know, they always say the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but the squeaky wheel also gets replaced. I didn't take a vacation, save my time off for migraines and mental health days and emergencies. Oh, God. If that isn't the American experience of like, here are your vacation. You can't use your sick days for sick days. So go ahead and you have to use your vacation days for sick days. And your sick days, if you use them, you're going to get shit about it. It is going to be the most backhanded shit that can in no way affect the company, but you're going to get shit about it. Your sick days aren't your sick days. They're magical numbers on a paycheck that if you're lucky you can access, and you have to use your vacation days for sick days. Like, I'm sorry I couldn't plan my mental health around your schedule, Maureen, but here we go. I'm sorry that I had some things come up in my life that were very triggering, and I need to take some time off. I guess I'll cancel my vacation for the 5th year in a row and use my vacation time for my mental health days because I can't use my sick time for health reasons. Huh. What a strange system we have. We are short-staffed and can't afford you leaving early. Those are the moments that get me laid off or cause my jobs to go in different directions. Because I made a decision a long time ago to when I hear the words "we're short-staffed," Maureen, that's a you problem. Maybe if you'd done your job correctly and staffed us, then we wouldn't have this issue. Like, us being short-staffed is in no way my problem. I don't control the hiring. So, like, you might want to fix that. And it's that kind of shit that got my job sent in other directions. Because they never had anything they could actually fire me for. I work for a $1 billion company. We get 3 sick days a year. And it's shift work and work with heavy, dangerous machinery. Oof, 3 sick days a year. 3 sick days a year. Now, do they give you unlimited health care so that you can just go in and do all the preventative health care in the world to make sure that you only need 3 sick days? Do they schedule vaccination buses to come out to your job so that everybody can get free flu shots to prevent illness, so that you only need 3 sick days? See, that's the thing, is they want to assign this arbitrary number of like 4 sick days per fucking fiscal quarter, but then they don't want to dump the money into making sure that that's all you need. Like, it would make sense if you only got 4 sick days per year, but they also dumped a ton of resources for preventative health care in your lap and prioritized your preventative health care. Yeah, 3 sick days, but your insurance costs half your pay, and if you want you and your spouse covered. Lost Tonight, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate. We're raging about a capitalism right now. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand if a job only gives you 4 sick days per quarter or whatever, however they want to structure it. If they have an extreme emphasis on your preventative measures being taken to make sure you're in good health. I mean, it makes sense, but they don't want to do that. It's your job to take care of you. We're only paying for healthcare because it's mandated by the fucking government. And we're going to pay as little as possible. We're not going to encourage it. How do people live? I'm so scared of ever living anywhere but Sweden. Not like we're taking... I mean, look, I haven't had healthcare for a while. I would love healthcare. I would love to just go for a checkup. I would just love to go for a checkup. Like, who doesn't want healthcare? Who doesn't want healthcare? I want my tax money to give everybody healthcare. We don't need any more fucking fighter jets. We've got enough tanks. We've got enough. We've got enough. This country is in trouble if we ever are able to decide where our tax money goes. I want a questionnaire. I want a questionnaire on my tax form of like, you're being taxed X amount of dollars. Where would you like that money to go? Infrastructure and healthcare, please. Like, the military will be fine. You know, senators and congress folk, they can make just a living wage for a while. They'll be fine. I would like my tax dollars to go to infrastructure and healthcare. Thank you. Birdie Black, good morning. When I complained to my mom, I try and watch that word a little bit, Nikki Beholder, just as a FYI. I complained to my mom, prices increased to $300 pay check for insurance. At least we don't have a socialist, and she said, at least we don't have socialist What? What? No, we should have that. Tagged you in a tweet of the treasure chest with first stage of paint. No worries, Nikki, it's fine. It's hard to reprogram. I'm trying my best. I still drop the occasional not great word, and it's hard to reprogram. But you know, just as long as we all make the effort. Wording is hard. Yes. You know, treasure chest first stage of paint. No detailing. Oh, this tattoo itches. It's still messy and wet. But we like that, though. Work in progress. Nice. Hashtag messy and wet. Ugh. Public wording is very different from private wording, too, between known parties. Yeah. Hats off to you. We're putting on hats. Should I go wizard or cavalier? I think I'm going to go cavalier. Oh, no. My cavalier hat got mushed a little bit. So I decided to be cavalier with your heart. We're bringing back cavalier hats and pauldrons, friends. We're bringing back cavalier hats and pauldrons. How could you not like this look? This is the look. How could you not? How could you not? We're bringing back cavalier hats and pauldrons, my friends. My friends, look. Dress for the job you want. I'm currently building a mech suit. Dress for the job you want. Honestly, Congress should earn minimum wage. How come we never talk about a maximum wage? How come we never talk? I mean, well, we talk about it. They don't listen. How come nobody ever talks about? How come everybody wants to rail against an upper tier minimum wage, but nobody wants to rail about a maximum wage? Like, what is my voice doing? Hello? Check, 1, 2. Apparently this hat has an effect. It is a cursed item. Politicians should earn what the lowest earners in their areas do. Yes, they should. Yes, because a lot of politicians come into politics With money already, how do you think they got there? How do you think they won the election, my friend? They had money when they started. They're not broke. They can go ahead and earn a minimum wage while they're in, like, they already have other interests. Yeah, like being a congressperson or a senatorial person should not get you a mention, friends. How be rich if no get money for lazy sitting? Can we talk about the welfare program that is paying Congress? We always want to talk about welfare and social programs that are helping out disenfranchised people. How can we never talk about the welfare program that is Congress's paycheck? Congress's paycheck. Because a lot of those motherfuckers walked in the door with money to begin with. How do you think they got in the door? And name one government official. Name one prominent lawmaker that doesn't already have a substantial amount of money to their name. Whether it be family money or whatever. It's usually family money. Name one. Name one. Name one. They all have an income of some kind. So, like, they don't really need congressional paychecks. Maybe a bit of a stipend. I don't know. I would like to see government by lottery. Do you know how terrifying that would be for if I suddenly got a call to serve in Congress? You know how terrified I would be of screwing it up and ruining people's lives? Well, it's been great. Should lurk and do some of those small chores. Have fun with Small Chore Monday. Thank you for being here. I appreciate. We're doing a beautiful Monday where we're just chilling. Just hanging out. We're going to be doing some fun adventures today. Not to be drastic, but still. Maybe if we stop paying politicians altogether, we'd only prioritize the things important to us and we'd shake loose more tax money for said stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Uh-oh, we're doing a guitar time. We're doing a guitar time. Good morning, Jamie. We're doing a guitar time. I've been having fun with the not fancy guitar. So I'm going to pick that one up first. But I'm going to turn down my noise suppression so it doesn't... There it is. I am addicted to my capo. So we're going cavalier hat and a guitar. Am I going full bard? Ooh, my fingers are a little sore this morning. I did a lot of guitar playing yesterday. That sounds terrible. I am a capo addict. Oh, there was vocals in there for a hot sec that weirded me out. All of a sudden, I was hearing parcel tongue. That was weird. I am a capo addict. Whoop. Are we requesting the smolder this morning? See, that's the problem with redeeming that guitar time is I have a hard time putting it down. I have a hard time putting it down. Like a puppy with two Peters out here. Came from Twitter, generally glad to hear sincere sentiments here. Welcome in, Lost tonight. We talk about stuff here. We talk about, if it gets too heavy, we'll put out like content warnings and whatnot. Sometimes we talk about heavy stuff, body issues, current events, stuff like that. I peeked on Twitter yesterday. Mark Muir liked a tweet I made. You in no way peaked, friend. You're doing amazing work, and it's only going to go up from here. That you are, trust me, you haven't peaked yet, like at all. And sometimes the horny bell is wrong. I mean, look, I have a brand, y'all. I have a brand, apparently. I was talking about that last night with the fact that, like, y'all have done some shit with my self-confidence over the years on the fact that, like, I started an OnlyFans site and never in a million, bajillion, quadrillion, septillion fucking years did I ever think I would fucking start an OnlyFans site. I can't even begin, like, I just, like, what, thank you for the lurk, Nikki. Need to focus on work, have fun, make capitalism only vaguely annoy you. I hope you have a good lurk and work. Appreciate you being here. But, like, I don't ever want to go back to being a cog in somebody else's wheel. I desperately am in love with being an independent. I don't ever want to go back. You know, I will learn to live on less because this life is so much more. Not all of us want or desire a fucking Lamborghini. Like, I am so happy to just exist with, like, I don't want for anything. You know, and I know that's very privileged to say. It's very privileged. And I would love to see everybody get to where their needs are met, and if they have wants, no, but a Stingray. I will own one day, even if briefly. See? And that's where the wants come in, where, like, if we have our needs met, we can focus on our wants. We can do, like, this completely sideways idea that, like, if people's needs are met, that they will just sit around. And sure, some people are going to do that. That's fine. Why, if that's how somebody wants to live their life, why should we judge that? Like, if somebody just, if we all got a UBI and we had our needs met, our basic needs met, if after that somebody just wants to go fishing, like, and so what? Like, the money they get is going right back into society to keep the system moving. Now, is there going to be a fair number of people that, like, they have their needs met, but also they have a few wants? So they're going to do the extra. They're going to build the independent business. They're going to be an artist and generate that extra income that they want to get the extra things. I guarantee you the vast majority of people that if they had their needs met, they would work 10 times as hard than they do under the current system to hit those wants, because they'll be doing the things they want to do to get the things they want to get. Just pay the moochers off for the benefits of everyone else who needs to help. I mean, like, if somebody, and I don't even see them as moochers, just let people exist. Like, it's literally, like, nobody asked to be here. Like, my parents fucked in 1978, and now I gotta pay taxes. How is that? Like, now I gotta pay rent. Like, how is that fair? Welcome to the world. Here's your bill. I know you didn't ask for this, but you're getting it anyway. So how? Like, if we're so top tier as a society, why can't we just provide for the basic needs of the populace? And whoever wants extra can can do what they want to do to get the extra. Oh, I'm just saying the argument, but people will be lazy. And that's the thing is, I push back against the word lazy. I push back against lazy. Because hard work is a concept. Like, why? Like, why is that the bog standard? Why is that, though? Why? Who decided that? Where is that writ? Where is that writ? That from the second you fall out of a vagina, that you have to immediately suffer. Nebula J, thank you so much for the follow. Where is that writ? When did the grand deity appear before us and say, from the second thy hit the floor, thy must toil and labor? Like, can you please provide me with the context for that? How are the rich people going to exploit everyone else if there's a UBI? And see, and there's the problem right there, is once everybody's free to chart their own course and they don't have to worry about their needs, they can just focus on living a full life. All of a sudden, the rich become irrelevant. You know how much would get done? You know how many innovations we would have if suddenly the underprivileged had the ability to just exist and like go to college because now I can. Could you imagine the things that would be made, the leaps in progress, if everyone had that level playing field of just like, I get my basic needs met and I can go to college and better myself. We always talk about priorities of bettering ourselves to make the generation that comes after us, their life easier. But we really don't actually do that. We don't actually care about that as a society. So like, turn the table on the employers. Yes. Inky Moon, I have made an absolute concrete and cognitive choice to where if I have to go back into the capitalist beast, if I have no other choice, if my survival depends on me going in and getting a 9-to-5, you better damn well be sure that the interview process, I am now interviewing employers. They are not interviewing me. From here on out, if I have to go back into the belly of capitalism, I am interviewing employers. Why do I want to work for you? What are your ethics as a company? What do you offer me as an employee? What are the benefits to me? Because you are buying my labor. Your company would not exist if it were not for the labor of your workers. So tell me, corporate entity, why should I work for you? What's in it for me? What's the cost-benefit analysis here of me doing business with you, Walmart? What's the cost-benefit to me, to my community? Absolutely. I've walked out of interviews before. Yeah, I want to see a statement of ethics at my interview. What's your stance on women's reproductive rights, potential employer? What is your stance on LGBTQIA plus human rights issues? Dun dun dun. Just step on in. Guess what? We have a special guest.
Hey, you're out of milk.
I am out of milk, apparently.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. The special guest is here.
Hello.
Welcome to KP11 Studios is in town. Surprise!
Where's the camera?
Camera is right there.
Ah.
I have far too many cameras.
Hey, is that a bad thing?
No.
Not really, right? Hey, everybody! So much follicle. Come on, but I can't match that. I cannot. That gloriousness. I can at the most twirl a mustache.
I'm afraid my beard might gain sentience at some point.
I mean, is that a bad thing? It's a friend. It's a nice friend.
It depends.
Fair point.
Do
you get to choose the
alignment?
Yeah,
the alignment. My beard alignment. Like, I'm lawful neutral, but like my beard is chaotic evil.
Can we have a chart?
Beard alignment. Beard alignment.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and happy to say hi.
I need this comic.
I need this comic.
Nice. Oh God, no.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be stuck in my head.
Right now,
beard alignment's gonna be a thing now.
It needs to be a thing now.
Right?
Can we make a T-shirt?
Right? Oh God.
We still have that one T-shirt with that one. I think it was Darby who designed it. But it was something to do with butts.
Oh God! It wasn't.
But you remember, like, we had a conversation. It was something
we've
tweeted.
had a few conversations.
Yeah.
I love that I met Darby via conversation about me spilling coffee all over my butt.
That was it.
Yeah.
Coffee butt.
The pumpkin spice coffee.
Pumpkin butt. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
We still have to make that T-shirt. Or did you already?
No. Darby made a logo. I just never did anything with it. I should do that on my thread list.
All right. Hi, Lightning. Hi, Pronoun. Hi, everyone.
But yeah, KP is in town.
I'm bumming on his couch for the day, or last night, and then we have a couple things planned today, and then it's and then on the way back to Portland. I'm on the upward journey. So figured why not say hi to a good friend, a good person. Not him. I'm kidding.
I'm here to visit a good friend, not you. Calm down.
Chill. Relax. Just because you have a glorious beard.
Don't make it awkward.
Watching KB bounce between... it's been an absolute privilege to finally get to meet all the people we were having discussion, just meeting all of the people I admire that I've been just, gushing over this entire time, and be like, you know what? I'm on the way. Why not make this a trip? And you know what? Hey, benefits of getting vaccinated.
Right?
Right? Just get your goddamn ass. I'm assuming all you wonderful people who follow this wonderful person are probably already on that path anyways. But just in case, there's one of you out there, unless, obviously if you're immunocompromised and you cannot, that's totally, and medical reasons you cannot get it, totally understandable. Be safe. But anybody else, get your goddamn ass. Why do I want to say axe instead? Get your goddamn axe vaccinated.
Yes, also get your axe vaccinated.
Yes, get everything vaccinated. It's all your stuff, everything. Just, do it. Hey, there's that gnome dad. Yeah.
Yes. G's in chat, Lightning Invoker.
G's
turned
awesome.
away for a hot second, came back, and there's a KP on the screen.
I just pop up everywhere. It's just like a little rabbit or a gopher. Surprise! Hello! Oh, man. What you guys... So you were talking about something earlier.
Oh, we were railing against capitalism. I think the last topic was, I'm going to try my hardest to stay independent as long as possible. Because I've never had a more fulfilling existence than doing this. But I've made a hard decision of, if I have to, push comes to shove, go back into the belly of capitalism. I'm interviewing employers now. They are not interviewing me.
Nice.
It's going to be a hard stance of I'm going to need to see your statement of ethics as a company.
What
are your stances on these things? And if our politics don't align, I don't want to work for you. I don't want to support, I'm never going to apply for work at a Hobby Lobby or a Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's just for me, it's going to be standard practice of what's your company's stance on women's reproductive rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I don't like your answer, I'm leaving. If you don't have an answer, I'm leaving. I'm going to need you to come to this interview prepared
with, hey, this is my requirements. That makes absolute sense. Just like how employers have requirements for who they wish to hire. I absolutely agree that you should come in, if you're going into a job interview, come in with your requirements. You need to bring something to that negotiating table so it benefits you, and make sure that it is a place that is safe for you, that it's a place that you actually want to work at, that espouses your ethics, like you mentioned.
And see, as a person who's done hiring before, I would absolutely love if a potential employee pre-interview said, okay, so here's the things you need, you need my driver's license, this, that, and the other for the interview process. I'm gonna need you to bring your company's statement of ethics, this, that, and the other. I'm gonna need you to bring this information to give to me. If I had a potential hire, say that to me. Like, you're already going in the probably hired bin.
Yeah, right.
Like if you're self-aware enough and socially aware enough
Yes.
to ask me for my company's statement of ethics and stuff like that, like that's already a win for you.
Because that shows who you are as a person. And that's what I always like to tell people is, especially whenever I interview people, skills can be trained. Knowledge can be transferred and given. People, no one starts out knowing things. And almost, even if you are technically qualified for a position, like in the technical skills section, most jobs have like that 3 to 4 month training period that ramps you up, right?
Yeah.
So all of that.
All systems are, no matter how similar, they're all slightly different.
Exactly. So you don't need to know a lot to get into a position because they'll train you up for it anyways. I'd rather look for someone, okay, is this a good person I can work with, because that can't be trained.
Yeah,
That's something you just either you inherently have or you have the drive to improve to get. Like no one can teach you that, no one can inculcate that into you, right? And so like that, because funny enough you mentioned this, in my previous job when I was working at a company called Greenbrier, and so I was a database administrator at that place, right? And when I first hired, I barely knew anything. I knew enough. I tried, I did it a little bit, and I had experience. But when I joined it, the type of questions they were asking, I basically was like one of those like, okay, I learned the answer to these questions, so I got the job, right? And I got good at it because I got the training and I went through. And later on, they were trying to hire another a database administrator for our team, and I was listening to all the candidates that they were just rejecting, and I was looking at the resume, but I heard some of the interview and how they answered it. I'm like, hey, wait, why would you reject them? That sounds like they're knowledgeable. Why, and then I asked my manager who had hired me, who had been at that my interview, I'm like, hey, so you're rejecting all these people who are much more technically sound than I was when I first joined. What made you pick me? And he goes, listen, there was 2 things. First, you were willing to admit whenever you were not knowledgeable about something. You didn't try to bullshit me. I know when people try to bullshit me. Like, I can tell when you're trying to give the wrong, just trying to weave something out of thin air. But you were the type who said, I don't know the answer to that question, but I know how I can get that answer. And I can promise you I can get it to you by the end of the week, and I can learn. So that showed me that I could train you. You are teachable. Second, just talking to you, I knew you were a good person. And if I'm going to be spending 8 hours a day with someone, I want to be sure that I enjoy their company. I don't want to, because most of my day is gone through here. And if I'm moody and pissed off because I don't like that person, then why would I hire them? They can be the most technically sound person, but if I hate my job because of them, I don't want them. So, hi, Bander. Right, so that I think is absolutely important, and having that conversation made me really realize, oh yeah, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't realize that as a potential an employee and as a worker, like you have inherent powers.
Yeah.
Like right out the gate, even in an interview, it's like everybody dreads interviews because they fear rejection, but employers never go into those situations dreading rejection, and like we should absolutely make them feel like we should make them feel a little bit of like rejection.
Oh shit, dread. Like exactly. Oh shit, crap, I don't have answers to this.
Yeah, like I want employers to be like just sad one night, going, how come? Why does nobody want to work for me?
Yeah.
Instead of people wondering why they can't get hired.
Yeah. People don't realize how much power they have if they actually worked as a collective towards that sort of a goal, and everybody held them to that kind of accountability. And also on your topic about people being afraid of interviews, it's because of that fear of the unknown, right? And I have a great example that my dad would share with me, where he was like, so when he first came to the United States, he came with another person just like him, and my dad also was I kind of picked up database administration through him, and the other guy was also trying to get that as well, but he had no experience, no knowledge at all about database administration. Yet he went for a job, right? He fabricated his resume, applied for a position, went for the job. He could not answer a single question. But you know what he did? He noted down those questions in his brain, and then afterwards typed it up, and then he looked up what the answer to those questions were and why the answer is what it is, right? Then he went to another interview. Again, he got rejected, but now he did a little bit better because he knew some of the answers. But then once again, he came back with the answers that he didn't know, wrote them down, learned it again, and he did that. I think my dad said he did like almost 20 interviews like that, and then finally they only have so many questions to ask. They all go off of the same goddamn format.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the same sheet of questions. So after a certain point, you have like 90 of them already with you, 90% of them with you that you can answer. You just walk in and he got it. He got the job. And he's like some senior VP at this point at a company.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who had no knowledge, nothing, right? And you got to play the game. You just got to learn how to play that game. Do it what's beneficial for you.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about how, hey, you shouldn't cheat. I'm like, as long as you're not hurting people, do whatever it takes.
Ethical non-compliance with the rules is a thing. You know?
Exactly. Right? Like when I got out of the Navy and I joined Intel, I mean not Intel. So I got out of Intel, but I was a mechanical technician there. I worked on tools. They're tools that created the chips and everything, and I monitored and stuff. That had nothing to do with database administration.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the job at Greenbrier, I just learned what the questions were, and then I bullshitted everything. And then once I got to the job, I started picking up experience and learning. Okay, and then if they asked me something, I'd be like, yeah, I could totally do that. And then when they turn around, I'm like, Google, help me. And that's how I learned, and I got good at it. And then hey,
like 90% of life is, and it's not so much fake it till you make it. It's just if you walk in with like, I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to do my damnedest to learn.
Yes.
Because, like, for the longest time, like, I felt like, I don't know, like, I was incapable, and it takes a while for you to look at the things you've done in the past, the things you just picked up, and you're like, oh, like, I have the capacity to just learn, like, I'm teachable.
Yeah.
That's the best skill to have.
Absolutely.
Like, I can listen. I'm empathetic, and I'm teachable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You look back in your life and all the things you've just, and this is something I try to be mindful with when I'm in those depressive states of like I look back and just at the things I've learned how to do cold.
Yeah.
I'm just like I want to learn how to do this thing. I'm going to do my own research and pick up the tools, and I'm just going to learn it.
Like all of this, you think this is something anybody teaches people? Like streaming and everything, that is a huge technical undertaking, and trying to learn that, right? And no one, like, there's no, I mean, I'm sure now there's probably some courses and things like that, but that doesn't really do much, you just have to do it, and you keep failing until you get good at it, and and
it's just that moment when you realize, you're like, and everybody has their limitations, but if you just realize that, like, you have the potential to learn how to do anything. If you expose yourself to enough information and the process for long enough, if you immerse yourself in it, you can learn anything.
Yep.
And like that is the best just life skill, is just being teachable.
Yep.
Being open to information.
Yep. Oh, wow, we went into a very nice topic
there.
Yeah, because I talk to friends who are like, I'm not getting a job, or when I get in, I feel like I'm underqualified, and so on and so forth. First off, the resume is just for you to get the interview. No one cares. No one really goes beyond that. So I was like, dude, make that resume pop however you want it to. Like, it's all about word choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they talk about how like, one of my friends like, dude, I've just been a janitor. I'm like, sanitation expert.
Mm-hmm.
Just change the wording.
Well, it's like I love too. Like I know a lot of people that like never graduated high school.
Yeah, not graduate. Okay, I graduated high school and that's it. I don't have a college degree.
Yeah, neither. I've never set foot in a college in my life.
I tried it. I didn't like it. I never got my degree.
But it's like people who haven't graduated high school, they kind of resign themselves to like, I'm not going to be able to get a job because I didn't graduate. I'm like, just pick a fucking high school and put it, like, they're not going to call the high school. They're not going to.
All they'll do is like,
they're like, did you fill out that part of the form? Okay, you filled it out.
Yeah,
okay,
at the most, on. Okay, do you have
Like I've never even asked for a fucking. I've got my high school diploma. Like all they care about is the fact that you followed the instructions and filled out that section.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes,
Most-
that
yeah.
is filled out. Moving on.
Yeah, like 99.99% of the time they don't.
Yeah,
do
they're
any-
not gonna call the high school and figure out and try and find out whether or not
Those
you
background
graduated.
Those background checks, all they'll see is, do you have a criminal record?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, are you someone who is a risk at work? And that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, like, that's such a inaccurate way to judge someone, because people make mistakes and they come out of it, and a lot of people try hard after that, and then they're just looking for that opportunity. So yeah, even that is not an indicative of someone's potential.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, yeah, like that's all they do. Like I'm a high school graduate, and I'm working at Nike now. So
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like, I mean, yes, I guess it's in high school graduation is important, just as a life experience.
Yeah.
The high school experience is important in learning how to learn. Is the biggest takeaway for high school for me, is like you learn how to learn, and then learning to be social and navigate that shit.
I felt that actually, honestly, for me, that came much later. Like high school was still very much my awkward phase. Even now, I'm very awkward. That was just. I think like high school is already so stressful because of the expectations, and people are like, oh, once you're 18, that's what I hate, this concept. Once you're 18, you're an adult. You're not an adult.
No,
you're absolutely
God,
not
no.
an adult.
Oh,
I still don't feel like an adult. I'm about to turn 30.
I'm 42. I have no idea what.
Yeah, and so like the concept of adulthood is such a vague and untenable thing.
The concept of adulthood is generally used as a control mechanism by people, insofar as like when you screw up, they bring it up your adulthood as like, look, you're an adult, you need to do better.
Yeah.
When you're experiencing joy, it's you need to grow up, you're an adult now.
Yeah.
Like the concept of adulthood is such a negative thing.
Yeah, we're having this conversation too, right?
Yeah,
Yesterday,
just the concept of adulthood is such a negative thing for me, because they only bring it up to shit on you.
Yeah. Like it's literally like there was that picture where it's a bunch of puzzle pieces coming together, and then this one puzzle piece doesn't fit. And it was just him sawing off a piece of him so that he could actually fit in that puzzle. And that's all it is. It's like the concept of adulthood is there to shave off aspects of you so you can fit into society, which is bullshit. Yeah. And so no one has things figured out, especially at the age of 18.
Oh god. Oh god, I was such a red hot mess at 18.
Yeah, so like
19 I was living in a car.
Yeah.
For fun.
Yeah. So like, I hate that idea of like somehow magically turning one additional year makes you an adult.
Yeah.
And so I had nothing figured out in high school. The only reason I somehow managed to keep moving forward was I went into the Navy, and I was forced into a structure. If I was all left to my own devices, oh god, I would have been even a hot mess, And so, like, the Navy kind of helped me at least be like, okay, I'm literally on a railroad. I'm on tracks that take me in a direction. I don't need to figure out a direction. This is already taking me in a way, and that helped me, specifically as who I was, make sure that I didn't continue to fuck up. Is what it was.
And then for me, like all of the people that I knew graduating, they all went military, and I just went to work at McDonald's. Just because I was the person that liked to wander.
Yeah, absolutely.
I rail against rails.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things of like, that people expecting you to just like hit a certain age and act a certain way.
No.
And like you don't know anything, and you should be allowed. You should celebrate those mistakes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like I have always thought of like we should celebrate like baby's first fuck up.
Yeah. Because people don't realize our life expectancy is what in the United States 76 years, right? So when you're like you hit 18 or 20 and even 30, like say you hit 30 and you still haven't gotten your life figured out, you still have a 45 more years to figure shit out. It is fine. You have plenty. You were talking about yourself yesterday, like just now. Even now, you were figuring out what you wanted to do in life, and now you're finally feeling like you're taking that next step, and you're now reaching that next platform. But that doesn't mean it's the last platform, but it's that next platform again, and you're reinventing yourself at 42, which is totally not. First off, not old at all. So I hope you're not ever thinking that. Please don't, because it is not.
I only feel old when like I make a reference and it's just crickets in the room. I'm like,
yeah.
Damn it. It's the only time I legitimately feel old is like I'll make a 90s reference and everybody's just like, what's a floppy disk? I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
No,
right?
no.
Well, isn't that just the save button? No, that came from your icon. Came from this. Stop it. Stop it, you.
God, I grew up on Apple IIe's and now I feel old as shit. I'm like, this is all sci-fi shit.
And what's great is like, because I was born and raised in India before I moved here, right? India at the time, and even to this day, we're kind of a decade behind, right? So like, the 80s hit us in the 90s. And the technology like that kind of hit. And then, you had that quick ramp up later, yes, obviously, because as we became even more global, and because mind you, at 1999 we were just a 50-year-old country. We still only 50 years since we got separated, we got our independence. So we're still growing, right? And so the 90s was absolutely our 80s. And so a lot of these references I still get, which makes me happy, right? Versus other people in my age group that grew up here, they're like, because like even cartoons, right? All the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, which were 70s and 80s cartoons, were happening in the 90s, and they were brand new to us. So like I get those references, which makes me super happy. My turning 26, realizing that car insurance might be cheaper now, right? Yeah. I think those milestones are like, crap.
Yeah, those are the perks of getting older. It's like, yay.
Cars annoy me. Yeah. No, we were having this conversation too. Both of our, oh no, not yet. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. Trains.
Oh yeah.
Trains are the best. Trains are the best form of transportation, and being in this country makes me sad because there's no trains, or at least not easy, readily accessible trains that take you anywhere you want to go. Because being in India, even when I went to Europe and traveled through Europe, they were so prevalent. You can get anywhere you want on a train. It was not stressful. I had more leg room and more space to stretch out than a plane. I still went fairly faster than a car. I didn't have to deal with driving in a car in the sense of like, actually actively engaging with anything. So it was such a it's so relaxing. I think the longest train ride I ever went was one time I went from Hyderabad, which is my home city, to, which is closer to the south, to New Delhi, and that was a 24-hour train ride. Oh, wow. It took us almost 2 days to get there because along the way there were stops and stuff, but that was magical. I loved it, every aspect. I can fall, like if I wanted to and I didn't have a fan to fall asleep to, I'll put on train sounds like that, like the track going on the tracks. So good. But why did I go? Oh yeah, but then my next form of transportation that I prefer is actually cars. Yeah. Planes I will only get on simply because I don't have the time to drive.
Yeah, you need to get somewhere quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm excited when I take my trip.
I'm so excited for you.
At the beginning of next month, we're gonna do the Skunk Train tour, which I've always wanted to do. My ex-wife would never do it. You want to talk the prior conversation of like rejecting your childhood or anything perceived childish. Like that's the life I've lived for 20 years. Like I couldn't express my joy because that's childish. You need to be a man. You need to be an adult.
You can still have those interests.
Yeah, like they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can still pay my bills, but play with toys. Yeah. Like there's nothing stopping me. Yeah. But it's like there's a little the town of Fort Bragg on the coast. There's a skunk train that does tours through the redwoods, and I've never been on a train. I love the redwoods, so every time we would go there, I'd be like, "You want to do the skunk train?" And she would no. Like, I should have just said you left her there and got on myself. I really should have.
Can
I really should have.
But I'm also glad that your first time is going to be with someone that respects that and actually wants to share that.
Yes. And so it's like, it's going to be an absolute blast.
I feel like that's just going to make it even more special.
Yes. So it's just like getting to experience those things. And as far as transportation, like motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have never, like, learning to ride a bike and then just like that freedom of knowing, just having one, just knowing that at any point you can just nope out.
Yeah.
You can just pop, and it's really freeing. As like when you think about taking a trip and you have a four-wheeled box that you're like, when you realize you have room, you're like, I'm gonna take this, and then all of a sudden you've got too much shit. Having a motorcycle is like, I want to go. Like,
I can leave everything behind.
Yeah, I can take maybe a backpack's worth of stuff with me.
Yeah.
Like, if you got a little bit of a luggage rack, you can take some provisions, but it really makes you streamline what you need and the ability to just bop out.
Yeah.
And just like go to scenery.
Yeah. Yeah. I have my endorsement, but it's been a while since I've ridden, and I want to again. Honestly, I just want to be in a sidecar.
I love sidecars.
I just want to sit in a sidecar.
I love that, like, you don't need an endorsement to get, if you have a bike with a sidecar.
Yeah. Oh.
You can, anything more than 2 wheels.
Oh.
You don't need a motorcycle endorsement.
So you don't need any form of road permit then?
As long as you got a driver's license.
Okay, a driver's. You still need a driver's license.
Yeah. You don't need a specific motorcycle endorsement if you've got a
yes.
sidecar or a 3-wheeled bike of some kind.
Right. Okay.
So,
Because I was concerned for a second, because I know like less than 120 cc's is you don't need any form of license, right? That's
think,
like what's still like almost a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Allowable.
Yeah.
It's more of a moped kind of a thing.
But it's like, as long as it's got 3 wheels, as long as you've got a Class C driver's license, you're good to go.
Okay.
And it's just like, because everybody says they handle like a little bit of a snowmobile, but I've always wanted to take one of those Can-Am Spiders.
For
a test drive. I just love the look of them. I can't stand
sick.
Motorcycle elitists.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get people
Let
that
people
are like,
enjoy what they want to enjoy.
Well,
Goddamn.
and it's specifically more so, especially with Harley enthusiasts. I was talking about this on the other stream. Like, I don't understand people who are like, a rebel culture railing against people not rebeling the correct way.
Right? It's like, I'm not gonna follow these rules, but you're not following the rules on how to not follow rules.
Gatekeeping nonconformity is like the strangest concept to me.
It's hypocrisy. It's absolute hypocrisy.
I mean, I could see, and it's not even like, I could see gatekeeping insofar as like, hey, you're shitting on other people for not conforming the way you conform.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just gatekeeping the gatekeepers. You know. But it's just like, that's one reason I never understood the Harley elitist. Of like, if it's not a Harley, then it's not a motorcycle, and I won't ride with you. I'm like, but like, why though?
Yeah.
Like, me is, like, if you've got a helmet and a love of riding, like, I don't care how many. If you can have 36 wheels on your motorcycle, like, I don't care. As long as you have a love for riding and a joy for that community, like, let's go. I don't care if it's 50 cc's or 10,000 cc's.
Yeah.
Like, if you can keep up with the pack, cool. Let's go. Like, it weirds out of Vespa riders and scooter riders, because I'll give them the little motorcycles, the wave, when I go by them, because I'm like, you're on 2 wheels, you're family, I love you. I don't care that it's not a fucking chopper or a sport bike. You're living your best life on the 2-wheeled conveyance that brings you the most joy.
That 250cc, if you're enjoying it, enjoy it,
like,
my
if
friend.
that's all you could afford, and you have a love for it, live your best life.
Yeah. My first bike, or the only bike I ever owned, was a 250. And God, the condescending looks. Anytime I showed up where a bunch of other motorcyclists were, and they're like, and like that look of, oh, you're not one of us, and that is definitely a motorcycle. And second, bold of you to assume I want to be one of you.
Right? Yes. Like, it's one of those things. I've still, and to this day, I have a dream of doing a Nerds Ride Out, just Nerds on Bike event. I would love it to like the inaugural run to be like Nerds on Bikes like converge on a convention, and I would love to see it someday, if it did happen, turn into the Nerds Ride Out is the convention. We just converge on a location. Because there's a few organizations like Black Girls Ride and Babes Ride Out that they've become pretty, like, I highly suggest looking up like Black Girls Ride and Babes Ride Out. I believe that's an Australia based.
Both of them?
No, the Girls Ride Out or Babes Ride Out is an Australia based, or at least it might be international at this point. Ooh. But it's just a bunch of biker women who banded together to have an event because they wanted to celebrate just being biker chicks and not have to deal with bullshit because of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I would love to see, because there's a large population of riders in the nerd community, and I would love to build like a nerd biker non-toxic environment. Convention. Yeah, just like I would love to just like travel across the U.S. on my motorcycle one day.
Because you were talking about like
with a bunch of other nerds.
Yeah, because you're also talking about like having that happen and then having like those support vehicles along the way, and those support vehicles can have like, you know, equipment for large like tents and stuff. Yeah. Where you can just set it up in an open field, and people, whoever is the local nerd community, can come join, and just everybody celebrates. It's like a movable Renaissance fair. Yes. A Renaissance fair on wheels.
Yes. What would even be better with that, ways further, is like literally Ren Fair gear while riding.
Yeah.
You know, if you could somehow get like the livery that would go on a horse, but put that on your bike, just that like
so cool.
You know, just like house flags and stuff like. Oh god, that would be amazing.
So I've never been in a Ren Fair.
Oh,
that would be like the best first Ren Fair experience.
Just ride in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I've gone to the Tahoe Ren Fair a few times. We have a local one here that's like a swap meet where everybody dresses as a Viking.
It's like a gathering.
And there's a little bit of SCA stuff that happens with the local chapter. That's pretty fun. But like I've been to like the big Tahoe Ren Fair, and Lord love a duck, it's an experience. It is an experience. I would love. That's one of the things I want to start doing, selling at Ren Fairs if I can.
Yeah, I think you'd kill it.
Yeah,
absolutely kill it. Yeah, I've never. So like last year, even just like conventions wise, I've actually not been very prominent in the convention scene as well. Like
neither have I.
Just because like I've been to Anime Expo twice in my lifetime. No, twice? Yeah, twice. Anime Expo twice, and then I've only been like outside of Comic-Con once, and then I've been to some of my local ones in Portland.
The flea market cons.
Yeah, and then one in Seattle, right? And that's kind of it. But like that too, I only started that that was over like from 2012 to now. So like literally I can count both hands together at the max how many conventions I've been over a 10-year period, right? And last year was supposed to be my
the breakout year.
Oh, I was supposed to be hitting like conventions almost every month
you're singing my theme song.
Yeah, I was supposed to, and then everything happened, and so you know, already convention experience is quite lacking. I've never been to Ren Fair, and then I've never been in a LARP, and those are the three like trifectas I really want to hit.
I haven't been in a LARP for the since 99 when I accidentally found a Vampire the Masquerade group.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like cool. I was just out getting burritos at like midnight, and I walked through the college campus, and there was a bunch of people dressed as either like bikers or business people.
Yeah.
And they were aggressively Rochambeauing at each other. And
aggressively Rochambeau.
I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this isn't like, I'm just standing there eating a burrito like, what y'all doing?
Yeah. Hey.
And I ended up LARPing for like 6 months.
That's awesome. Also, hi, Hell Magic. Hey. Yeah, man. That's fun though. That's so cool that like a chance happenstance.
Yeah, I'm just like late night. I'm like, I want a burrito, and I just went out and just found this LARP group, and I was just like, okay. I'm like, I've played Vampire the Masquerade, the TTRPG before.
Right. So you already were kind of aware of.
Yeah, like I was. As soon as they said, "Oh, it's Vampire the Masquerade," I was like, "Okay, I know that."
Hey.
I mean, I don't know this version of it, but like I know that as a concept.
Yeah. And so with that, yeah, and you got exposed to a new variation of it,
Mhm.
which is awesome.
It was so 90s emo kid, the Midnight Rose Society. Oh my god. I giggle every time. It was such 90s emo kid energy. It was hilarious.
That's awesome, though. That's so cool. That's so fun. And yeah, so like, I do sometimes feel that my nerd cred is so lacking because of I've never done any of those things. I enjoy it. I want to enjoy it, and I want to be there. And then like, and you know, it's been a long journey breaking out of that stigma of these things, right? Like growing up, anyone I talked to about who talked about Comic-Con or cosplay conventions, or talked about LARP or any of that, it was with disdain. And oh my god, that you would do that. So even if
my ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so even if I was interested in it, I was curious about it, but I couldn't express it because no one around me would be accepting of it. And so I kind of just suppressed it. And I am so like, so one of I almost now at this point consider him as a savior for me, in the sense of my first ever exposure properly to cosplayers. It was through my fellow shipmate, my Navy buddy. This was 2012. I got to my ship finally, because you go through a big training period and all that, and then that's when, after you finish your training, they send you off to the ship. And so I just arrived, and then we hit it off like that as friends, right? We became great friends really quickly. And then he's like, "Hey, so you interested in cosplay?" I'm like, "No, I mean, like, I've never done it. It's just not been my thing." And at that point, I was doing photography, but it was just like, you know, regular like family photography. Like the concept of cosplay photography as a thing was not at all even in my brain in 2012. And so he took me to my very first cosplay gathering with some of his friends, and then he introduced me to this world. And I fell in love immediately, because as a photographer, you know, at that point, I'm like, oh, I get to capture these beautiful, amazing people. My photos would look even better because they are now in it and more interesting, and I can play with, you know, it's not just your go-to like,
yeah,
that kind of a pose. They would do action shots. I can do angles. Yeah, colors, textures. And so, that lit a fire. That lit such a fire, and I'm so grateful for him for taking me to that. And then he took me to San Diego Comic-Con. Not inside, we didn't have the tickets, but we just lurked outside. And I just took I still have those pictures, and they're terrible. But you know, I got into it. That's how I got into it. And man,
see, that's one thing that's always bugged me, like the entire nerd cred conversation of like, I cannot stand that elitist horseshit. Of like, oh, you haven't done this yet.
Yeah.
Like, no, friends, that's an opportunity of like, oh, you've never done this? Well, we're gonna go do it now, and I'm going to get to experience your first time joy of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right? There is nothing better.
Let me introduce you to my passion and joy.
Than like experiencing the first time joy of somebody who's always wanted to do a thing or never done or even heard of a thing.
Yeah.
Getting to experience it for the first time, like, I may have done this a million times, but it's going to hit totally different being there with you as you discover whether or not you like the thing.
Yeah. And then watching that excitement start budding, and you're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just converted someone.
I now have a new friend.
Maybe this is what missionaries felt like.
Oh, God, no. Oh, Jesus. Just the Jesus fandom going around.
The Jesus cosplayers. The Christian cosplayers. Pretty much what they are.
The Christian cosplay community.
That's what it is. Because, you know, hey, man, Jesus was brown, and you're just all cosplaying.
That was the best TikTok the other day. I spit water everywhere. It was somebody was doing a trend of like Stitch the video. It was like, name one thing that's not in the Bible that everyone thinks is in the Bible. And this person just pops up and goes, white folks.
Yeah. Hey.
They don't want to hear it, but there it is.
Oh, I love it.
Grandma, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's not Jesus.
Yeah. That's why I did that Twitter post where I just dressed up as Jesus. I'm like, this is how Jesus actually looked like. I'm the actual Jesus cosplayer.
Yeah.
It's like that meme, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm the Jesus now. And so yeah, that I want to experience that with LARP, and I want to experience that with the Ren Fair, and you know, because I haven't been exposed to it yet.
Yeah, apparently in Wisconsin there's a big
Ooh.
Ren Fair thing. So if and when I can get established,
Yeah,
because
I'd
like
love
I'm
to.
looking at busting into that stuff in the big bad way. Like
Yeah.
I used to try and explain like my hopes and my dreams to my ex-wife, and I don't know if anybody else knows what it's feel like to talk about the things you want to do in life and the
passion you have.
Yeah, the passion you have for things. And have somebody look at you and just do that like that absolute.
This is stupid.
Not even that. Just that absolute. Oh, what is it? Wow, my brain is lacking the fucking dragon movie. That I'm gonna need you to be less this.
Oh.
Like, oh, you just all of my dreams. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I would explain my dreams and hopes and wants for the future to my ex-wife, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I don't like that." And which is such a weird. How to Train Your Dragon. Thank you, Sam. For some reason, I always want to call it Imagine Dragon, but that's a band.
Yeah.
To explain your hopes for the future to your spouse, for fuck's sake, your spouse, and have them go, nah.
Yeah. There's one thing to be like, oh, I that's not my thing, but you chase it. Cool.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, if that brings you happiness, enjoy it. I'm not it doesn't seem like something that I would enjoy, but yeah, because everybody has their own passions and their own like enjoyment. But you shouldn't, suppress one other person for no reason like that. Like it could be like, hey, that looks dangerous. Oh, I'm about to go jump out of a plane. Okay, you're saying that that's gonna be your hobby. Please be safe.
Yeah,
that's one thing, right? Just showing that concern and that love comes from that. It's out of love. To do that though, and just be like, no, that's not. We're not. No.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, okay.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just like, I've never been so close. Like my dreams have been fluid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've gone through a lot of like hobbies and passions and things. There's been one through thread of like I'm very performative. I'm extremely, when allowed to be myself, I'm extremely extroverted.
Yeah.
And so I've always had a passion for performance of some kind, be it musical. We used to do Monty Python in the park, just skits for fun. We would just show up places and reenact things. Guerrilla concerts for fun.
Wow.
And I want to get back to that stuff. I want to start going to conventions. Like I had a radio show in like 2-3 years in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up with it. Just me and my buddy Brian. Just one day. Mariner 800. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Me and my buddy Brian ended up with a local radio show.
Ooh.
For years on public access here in town, and it's like, so there's always been a through thread of being performative of some kind. And so like I love streaming. I did a podcast for a while in my problematic 20s when I feel like I was like Joe Rogan adjacent. I haven't listened to them in a while. Thank God they're lost to time. I think everybody has like their problematic 20s.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was very much the privileged white dude,
railing against
like,
the world.
Like my heart was in the right place, but I didn't have enough experience or exposure outside of my privilege, and I probably, had I continued down that path, would have like ended up being that problematic fucker.
Yeah.
But like I've always done podcasts, radio, short filmmaking, music stuff, and it's like I'm very much trying to get back into that in a big bad way because I've never really had a platform or an audience.
Yeah. Now you do.
And it's just like it's amazing and fun, and like I want to start doing conventions in a big bad way once they're safe enough to do. We're trying to do PAX Unplugged this year. I bought my plane ticket.
Oh, fun!
I'm super.
Where does
stoked.
that take place again?
Philly.
Philly.
Yeah, that was my inaugural big convention in 2019. Was going to PAX Unplugged, and it was a heck of an experience. And like 4K followers on Twitter, so like oh god, now
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, because like I just hit 12 and some change.
Woo!
And it's like, why I don't get it, but I appreciate.
People, you know, it's like moth to a bright light, right? You know, people float to things that give them that hope, that brightness in their life, that warmth, and you know, you exude that, man. And I think that's what people, especially in these times, need and want and crave. So yeah, it becomes good person.
Yeah.
You know, and then but the other thing is, you know, there's so many amazing good people online who unfortunately don't have that following. But the thing is, it's just a matter of time, I think, right? It's that right. It's like when the hammer hits it right, sparks fly.
Yeah, and on top of like, if you're willing to like you gotta be yourself.
Yeah.
Like fully.
Yep.
You know,
it harkens back to our conversation last night. We had some great conversations last night. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly. Just people pick up on bullshit very easily, very quickly, and so being genuine to who you are and like kind of presenting your whole you, and not as if though you're just trying to hawk things at people. You know?
Yeah.
And just be genuine, and people will flock to you. And then obviously, you know, the more you show how much of a good person you are, the more people would want to support you. So then, yeah, along the way, if you have things, you're like, hey, thank you. This is my passion. This is what I do. If anybody would like to support it, and then people would just be like, absolutely, because by supporting this, I get more of you as the person, you know, and I can lift you up. Then yeah. And then as you get lifted up, you then start lifting other people up along with you. And then you just have this huge community that just self-propels each other to the next level.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing is like you end up building a community and like lifelong friendships, you know, romances, like everything, as long as you just like at the forefront of everything. For me, it's always been about, because I've been in some real sideways situations, it's always been about understanding and acknowledging power dynamics in relationships.
Yeah. Being
very careful, you know, especially with like, if you're in the realm of like, and I'm hesitant to use like the positivity realm, but like honest positivity, talking about mental health, being an advocate for stuff like that. It like the potentiality to accidentally do harm there. Like you have to be aware at all times. You just can't, like, I constantly talk about the fact that like my demographic is extremely privileged and has a bad habit of lackadaisically trampling through people's lives, not even understanding that they're doing damage just by like la I'm having fun living my life, and they're just stepping on people. So it's like this constant like,
it's like people talk about frolicking through the garden, but you don't realize as you're frolicking, you're stepping all over those flowers.
Like you have to be like power dynamics. Like, you know, there was we talked a little bit last night about like that episode of my life where I was 100% groomed by a woman on the internet, and it's
people are scary.
That power dynamic of like people don't realize how much of their power they're giving away, the position the other person is in, until the trap shuts, until it's too late and you're stuck. So I'm constantly in the forefront of my brain. Am I doing to this person, even accidentally, because intention does not override impact? Am I accidentally harming this person?
Yeah.
Because I like the attention they give me. You know, I like feeling like I'm helping, because that's a big problem, is like that feeling of I'm helping and saving people. You're actively doing harm. You just like you're here for the attention. You're aggrandizing yourself at the expense of people's mental health. And it's going to explode, and it's going to be bad, and you're going to ruin somebody's life in the process.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, I feel like we're both at a place where the next decade or so is going to be absolutely fantastic.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be grand.
I'm going to start, like, I always tell this story because it's one of those body positivity stories where I realized how toxic the people around me are. I didn't know it for years. Duval! Thank you so much for the resub, Duval. Welcome on in. I'm just going to start taking opportunities as they're presented. I'm not going to. I mean, obviously, I'm going to vet where the opportunities are coming from, so I don't end up at like a clan rally accidentally or some shit.
That'd be a story.
Oh God, no! You can keep the.
How the fuck did I get here?
I live in that fear of having that. Have you seen Death to Smoochie?
No, I've not.
Oh, there's a scene that you need to watch. Death to Smoochie.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's Edward Norton
Oh.
and Robin Williams. And
Oh,
Edward
wow, what a
Norton
combo.
is an up and coming like child entertainer. Smoochie the Rhino, very Barney the Dinosaur.
Oh.
Trying to make his way big. Meanwhile, Robin Williams is Rainbow Randolph, the very like Captain Kangaroo-y.
Yeah, they're already big.
The old guard is feeling his popularity decline in the series of events that happens. It's like it's very rated. I think it's rated R. But there's a scene where like somebody accidentally walks on stage and it's a fucking Klan rally, and like I live in like I vet people constantly.
I know, absolutely, please do. Yeah.
Constantly vet people, but yeah, highly recommend Death to Smoochie. It's hilarious and extremely inappropriate at times, in like the fun way. But it's like I'm just gonna start saying. Yeah, I was telling my stepdad, I was like, I'm just gonna. I have the ability to just say yes to things now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take the chance. I'm gonna take the chance.
Yeah.
So that way, at the end of the day, I'll know.
Yeah.
I won't wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I'll know. I took the chance. It didn't work out. And it's like I just as a random thing, I said, you know, if somebody needs a bearded dad bod chubby model, I'm just gonna say yes. And like, I love my stepdad to death, and he tries real hard, but he's real toxic accidentally. You know, I say if somebody needs a chubby dad bod model, I'm gonna say yes, and he just goes, or you could lose weight. I'm like, or you could shut up because I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. Like, I love you, Dad, but don't. I just, like, that's a point I've gotten to in my life where I'm like...
So this was an offer, right? You just gave me that offer. Now I'm applying that application for this.
Like, I would love...
bearded dad bod model.
I would love... Like, I'm constantly, yes. If anybody wants to do stuff, if you want to do stuff, I'm here for it. Because, like I said last night, like, if somebody the convention just needs a booth beard... to be friendly,
the best term.
Just to be friendly and draw
it.
people in. Like, I'm constantly in Viralis's face with the kilt stuff. I'm like, you need a West Coast rep. Send me catalogs. I'm gonna start selling at tiny conventions and whatnot. Like, I would love to have a section of Viralis catalogs and stuff for kilts and tunics and cool nerdwear.
You want to know what would be an experience for me that I would like to request from you? Would you be my partner in crime picking up my first kilt?
Hell yes. Hell yes. Viralis will also do custom kilts.
Please don't use your powers for boot beard reasons. I'll buy the whole damn stand. It'll be off when I won't even notice the spending. Can you imagine both of us as boot beards?
Yes.
Oh. I can't. I mean, obviously, I can't reach your
still.
level, but I can bring my weight in.
Look,
I can.
We don't.
Someone sponsor us for this.
Right. We don't.
KP in a kilt. I mean,
there is no lesser beards. There are no lesser beards.
True. Every beard is a glorious beard.
Yes.
that was. But, oh man, I'm excited for when we can really start going to conventions again, and I would love. I'm excited to go to a convention with you and do things like that, and just like hang out with me. That was like I was explaining this to you. That was kind of what this entire trip was about. Like, it was not about traveling to sightsee. It was about just meeting all of these wonderful people that I really want. Maybe I already did I already talk about this? Well, it's fine. It's worth repeating because y'all are worth talking about again. And so like meeting Gnome and then meeting like just the entire like month of August and like this, you know, it's still early September, was all about just meeting every single person. I got to meet Eris and Goblin Katie and Gnome and people in LA, a bunch of amazing like Michaela and Danny and you know, Gil. That was fantastic. And then somehow magically, you know, Matthew Mercer just ended up in that entire mix. I don't know how.
Sir Angel 1990.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. That was PAX 2019 for me.
Yeah. So I wanted more of that. Like, absolutely.
It's like, yeah, because like PAX 2019, I got to meet and hang out with like Kelly the Opera Geek, Greenleaf Geek, Goblin Katie. It was like Greenleaf Geek, Goblin Katie, and D&D Jordan Lee and I. We all went to lunch at an Italian joint. and hung out, and like it was like it was an exercise in don't be weird, don't be weird, don't be weird, don't be weird,
No,
don't be
be
too
weird.
don't be too weird,
Never. Nothing of the sort.
don't be awkward. That's the one.
Okay, I could see that.
Um,
But awkward is just like your initial, what is your level of weird
Yeah.
moment, and then once you figure out the level, awkward goes away.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just weird together, mutually, and it's
getting-
best. Be weird. Be weird, please. More people just need to be, as long as it's not in a toxic way.
yeah.
Be weird. You know, life needs it.
Mhm.
The world is already like
I
ridiculous as it is.
getting to have what was it? I had dinner. We did a big Panera thing. Danny O'Gani was there.
Danny's, yeah.
I still feel bad. I almost shot Danny in the face with a rubber band because I had one on my wrist and I was just doing nervous fidgeting. And we were in a Panera and I was just doing this, like looking at all these cool people around me. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually happening. And the rubber band just went snap and just flew. I'm like, oh my god. Don't almost kill the cool people. Calm down. Sitting and feeling overwhelmed at like the ass end of one of the days, and literally Eris just trucks by and goes, "Yo, Nix, we're getting tacos. Let's go."
Yeah.
Just like out of the blue, out of the crowd, and I'm like, "Yes, please, tacos. This place is large and like semi-intimidating. Get me out of here." And
Give
it's
me
like,
tacos.
it was
Tacos
we're
in my
having
belly.
tacos with Eris and Stonefly Kai and Gorilla with a Brush and just like a ton of other people, and then like we went to drinks and met up with like GM Lee and a few other people. Had drinks. Oh god, we went to a place. It was like the Bad DM and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
Laser Luis, the artist,
Mm.
and Mariah, who he's with. Who else? Eris,
Mm.
Ren Apollo was there, and I think there was a couple. Oh, Snickle Socks was there as well.
That's such a great name.
I know, right?
That's so
Um,
fantastic. I love that name.
And there was like a 90s pop punky cover band playing.
Ooh, wow.
And like we were all kind of drinking a little bit and just like coming down and having fun.
I just
I know-
realized now, because of all of y'all, I'm probably not going to be booking as many shoots simply because I'm just going to be like, this is taking a lot of my time that I could be spending hanging out with people. So I realize now what I'm probably going to end up doing is just like limiting my shoots
And
to
see,
like,
that's the thing is like you're gonna have to find a way to monetize going to a convention. Like I don't care about the money part. I just want to like be able to justify hanging out with people.
Yeah. Like, I just want to make enough to justify the cost of going there, so I can hang out with all of
Yeah.
you. So like it's gonna be like that's pretty much all. It's like have like 1 or 2 shoots a day at the
Mhm.
most. Each of them 30 minutes. That's an hour gone. Okay, got it. Pack everything away. Go.
My best memory of PAX Unplugged is we were at this bar listening to pretty good covers of 90s poppy stuff.
Yeah.
And like we'd all had just enough to drink where Eris did that thing of like leaning in super close to talk because it's really loud, and she just goes,
I love it.
"How old are you?" Because like I looked deceptively young, and
wow.
but the thing was, she didn't know at the time. It had just passed midnight, and I looked at my watch and I went,
Oh, it's
"I'm 41 years old right now, as of now," and like it took a sec to connect, and she just went, "Is it your fucking birthday?" And like that was the biggest, best mistake of my life, was admitting to that it was my birthday at a convention. And in a bar in fucking Philly, because Eris goes, "Hold on," and just poof goes and comes back. And this is why I always tell the joke: Eris cast Fireball and just fucking wrecked me. She comes back with a bunch of Fireball shots.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I love
oh
her
god,
so
because like
much.
it like as soon as it dawned on her what I said, it dawned on me what the fuck just came out of my mouth. Given the context of where it
mistake was made.
and then my liver's just like, "You asshole!"
Mistakes were made. Advantage was taken.
But it's just legitimately like one of my best convention memories of just like fucking a flailing Eris.
It's like this
Casting
conversation
Fireball.
is not making it any easier not going to Gen Con in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I know. When
'Cause
this
I
shit
have-
started,
I have the tickets from last year still up.
I almost bought my tickets. I was funded for Gen Con last year.
Yeah, and
And then like everything went sideways. Thankfully, I was able to transfer that money into like a friend's GoFundMe.
Mhm.
So it went to a good cause.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like that was going to be my first Gen Con. I've never been to a mega con.
Yeah.
I've never been to like a Gen Con or a C2E2 or a Dragon Con or anything like that. PAX
I think
Unplugged
the biggest
is,
one was Katsucon for me last year.
Yeah, PAX Unplugged is relatively medium-sized, I think. Like it's big enough to get that big con experience. Like they have panels and stuff like that.
And that's their PAX,
but it's not like
board game convention, right?
Yeah. But it's not so big that it's just like you're awash in a sea of bodies. Like you can comfortably walk around the place and not have to like.
Yeah, because like I was telling you yesterday, as magical as Katsucon was, like, you know, that was February of last year. I had just introduced my Gilmore cosplay to the world, and that was my debut stage for introducing him live. Like after I finally figured out the whole ensemble, and but the thing was, no one really knew me. I didn't have any friends there, I was telling you. And like I still remember like the day one I was in that bar just sitting by myself drinking beer going, I need friends.
That was PAX Unplugged. It was a lot of like I would meet up with, because I was giving out trinkets and gifts and stuff that I had brought. So like I would meet up with people and give them a little edged potion bottle and whatnot. But like after that, it was primarily me, just because like the person I was rooming with, Riley, she was doing that Omegathon.
Oh.
Where it was like that big board game TTRPG, like the entire con, and people are slowly knocked out until you have like a winner. And so like Riley would go to her thing.
Yeah.
And we would go to a, like sometimes it would coincide and we'd be at the same panel.
When you say Riley, you mean like
Kildekin, yeah.
Kildekin, yes.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. She
so
she would, oh man, I want to meet her so bad.
So like sometimes our itineraries would coincide with like we would be at the same panel together. But mostly it was just like we were roomies. And then like we would go to the convention together and be like, okay. And like most of the time was me just kind of like wandering around, just a solo entity. And like friend groups would walk up and go, we'd exchange stuff and hugs and pictures and that. And then they would go off to do their own thing. And then it's just, here I am just like, and I just walked in circles. I just walked in circles.
Same. Okay, and then the thing was like, unless I was in my Gilmore outfit, no one I mean, I'm sure. First off, I'm not important enough for people to recognize, and I don't need to expect that at all. But I was just like, I didn't know anybody really, right? Because like, you know, I had, like I was telling you, like I went there with a friend who kind of was like my handler when I was Gilmore, because back then I didn't have LASIK done yet, so I had -7 vision in both eyes. So I without my glasses, it was bad. Like I saw human-shaped objects. Like even if you were this close, you're a human being. That's what I can successfully observe that, and that was it. That's right. So she would be like, you know, helping me not bump into shit, and so like that was my experience. And then I just met with photographers in Gilmore, got that done, and then I went to the cosplay gathering for Critical Role. I gushed over other people, and that was kind of fun when people were able to recognize me as Gilmore there, and I got to interact with them, and it's such a joy getting to interact with people. But then outside of that, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around now. But I think what really helped though is that I'm never gonna do this again, but I packed myself with photo shoots for that convention, like back to back to back, and so at least through that, people were talking to me. I facilitated my own conversations, because I don't think I would have had that had I just like been walking around. You know, because it's just a sea of people.
Kyle with an N, thank you so much for the follow and a raid. Thank you for bringing your community here. Hi, I'm Nix. I'm your proud punk rock uncle. You're doing a heck of a good job. I'm hanging out with my good friend KP11 Studios here from the Twitters. If I could get a shout out for Kyle with an N, and also some links for KP.
Oh, what? You don't need to.
Oh, Sam's a champ. Sam already has lists of things. Sam is partially psychic, I think. I don't know.
That's a grand power. That's nice. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I loved it. I loved that convention. I loved being in that energy, because that was, like I said, my first big convention.
And it's
I mean, I guess no, Anime Expo kind of was. Because I've been to Anime Expos twice, and I've been to SakuraCon up in Seattle, which was still big, but I don't know, something about Katsucon just felt more,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, it's like I've been to a lot of like.
There's no. Okay, first off, sorry.
There is no just a mod.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No, you're a superhero,
Yeah.
and we absolutely do not deserve your amazing talents because you keep things sane. You keep us, safe. And there's no more respectable job that I can think of, and I appreciate you and everybody in that space who does that. So stop it. You're not just a mod. There's no such thing as just a mod.
Ooh, I just had a good idea. We should make a mod awards.
Yeah,
Like the moddies.
The moddies. Oh my god.
But there is no competition.
Yeah.
All mods get them.
Yeah, exactly. Because
There's no competition. There is no best or greatest mod. All mods.
All of them are amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Man, yeah.
But also, I will fight anybody. My mods are better. That's the streamer fight.
That's the
between streamers. It's my mods are better than your mods fight.
Isn't that well? What's that song? It's like there's a rhyme or something or a song, but my something's better than yours, something or something like that. You know, you can make a song out of it. There's a 10-minute follow mode. Ooh.
Yeah, we've kind of clamped down because of
That's
all
awesome,
the hate raids. Like I said, I've got my big red blinky scram button. Oh shit.
No! What'd you do?
What'd I do?
What'd you do?
I
Oh, you just you probably
Minimized
hit the
everything.
Windows button or desktop.
but yeah, I've got a big blinky scram button
Yeah.
right there that locks down everything. I
just
haven't
press it.
yeah, I know, right? I haven't had to experience anything like that.
Hi, Legal
what the
Genji?
poop? KP on World Tour. Yep.
This is like my grand tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Get yourself vaccinated and maybe I'll come visit.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, I'm looking forward to once the world is a little more stable and vaccinated and cons are a lot safer. Because I'm gonna go to PAX Unplugged in a hazmat suit. We'll turn it into Among Us Con. It's fine. We'll all just be walking around in hazmat suits, hugging each other.
Yes. You know what? We should
ready that button. I have vibes.
Oh,
Copy
yes.
that.
Yes.
Come
to Minnesota. I would love to. I will absolutely. I think so I was talking with. Actually, you know what? I might just take you up on that offer because, as I'm doing this and going through the year, the fact that I can work remotely from my work means I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can work from anywhere. That's what I was doing this entire time. I was in California. When I went to Atlanta and even Miami, right? With my wife, I went to Miami during the day from 5 a.m. or from 8 a.m. Actually, 11 because it's 3 hours ahead. 11 there at that time there to 6 p.m. I was working, and then after that I would go out. Right. Same thing when I was in Atlanta. Same thing while I was in LA. So I'll work during the day, but I still get a few hours to hang out with people that I want to hang out with. So it gives me that flexibility. So what I do want to do by the end of this year is hit some of the major places, as many places as I can, of all the people I want to hang out with. So I'm definitely planning to go to Chicago, to New York, by the end of this year, to Dallas. So definitely I can imagine having a stop along the way at a couple other places. So
yeah, and that's the thing is I 100% want to once I can get myself established in Wisconsin, it'll be a good jump. It'd be good middle of the country jumping off point.
Yeah.
To get to multiple people. You
know what? Let's take a quick photo, and then I'm gonna post this thing. Hey, guess what? And there it is. And now y'all see it.
I'm gonna start doing conventions. I'm gonna start just showing up. I'm gonna start. I don't know what's gonna happen with Twitch, if it's gonna if they're gonna actually make this a safe environment for marginalized groups. If I'm gonna stay here, I don't know. If we're all gonna move to another platform, right now that's all up in the air. But if I can translate a 12K on Twitter following into just doing things and helping people and running and charity events.
Yeah, and you're already killing it, dude.
I'm so here for charity events.
Yeah.
That is
because we were just talking what you said, $8,000 is what you guys raised.
We're
just on
close
your own,
to close
on
to
your own
$8,000
channel.
on my Tiltify channel so far for the year, and we've still got a little bit of time left. And it's just like, I want to do the things I want to be. What got me into this sphere and what got me going to conventions was Eris, Danny, Greenleaf Geek, Dallas from Shire Suds, and GM Lee tweeting that they were doing a panel on how to sell your thing on the internet at PAX Unplugged. And that is what made me go, I need to go to this.
Yes.
Because I was relatively new to the TTRPG spaces.
Yeah.
And so like I followed all these people, and like most of us were mutuals at that point, but like just recently so.
Right.
So
I hope I typed it in correctly.
I was just like,
yes, I did. Okay.
I very much want to be in that space with that. Like, I want to learn what you know, like, because I have no idea when it comes to business. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a production guy. I make stuff, and so to get to sit and listen, so it's like that's
also what I love
that's
about
what
this
I want to
community.
do, is like, as I build the experience and the expertise in these arenas, to be able to be the person that somebody else out there goes, oh shit, they're doing a panel, okay, I gotta go now, because I also want to learn how to do the thing.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be, I'm excited, man. I think this is everything. I'm glad because things are going the right direction for you, for all the good people that I know. Like this, I think this year, despite all of the challenges of the pandemic and everything else that's been going on, I'm happy to say that all the people I care for, or at least a majority of the people that I care for, have started moving away from very toxic environments or very unideal situations, and then moving forward and then taking that next step. And I'm just so goddamn excited, because I know that was what was suppressing them, that situation or whatever the issue was. It was what was suppressing them from really going out there, right? And so I just imagine starting next, especially later this year or at the latest next year, you're just going to start seeing some great stuff come out, like from you and from other people that I know. I'm not going to mention names simply because private information. Yeah. But look out for some great things coming up from some amazing people.
And that's the thing too, is the ability to like support and encourage your fellow creatives in these spaces of like, what, you're doing a thing? I want to build my platform. So thank you so much for the bid. It's Tenny. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little... my brain's a kerfuffle right now. But like...
I know. I have that effect on people.
Yes.
Stop it. Don't encourage me.
Oh, I'm going to... That's my brand. That is literally my brand.
Don't encourage that.
That's literally...
Encourage other things, but not that.
That is literally my brand. But just like to get to hype people and encourage people and like collaborate, like the collaboration. Like, I don't like doing solo stuff. It's so boring. Yeah. Like, I'm here to work with people to create like ensemble things that are just better because there's more experiences input. My friend recommended I drop a raid. Can't stick around for long. Yeah,
you too.
Post-stream brain, I get that, but thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it.
Hi, Kylan. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and rest of the week.
Yeah, that's right. It's Monday.
On what?
It's Monday.
Oh yeah. I thought I heard you say Friday is a Monday, and I'm
no. I said that's right. It's Monday.
That's right. Okay.
That's being an independent and existing entirally in one room.
You just forget.
You lose track of time so bad.
Yeah. It's Labor Day.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing too.
Yeah, and then as a thing for all of you wonderful people in the services who help us out, who keep us safe, firefighters, nurses, EMTs, people in the military, thank you for all of your wonderful and hard work. You keep us safe and happy, and
all the people that have to work on fucking Labor Day.
Yeah, just everybody.
They can't celebrate literally the day designed to celebrate them. All clear, I think.
Woo!
Cool. See what time is it? 10:15. Oh, you want to go till 10:30?
Yeah.
I usually stream till 10. But yeah, it's been like I've been waiting for this for a long time. I always joked about if I ever got the chance to ride up to where you were.
Yeah, but we've been talking about it for 2
like,
years.
I always wanted to do a thing to where we set it up in a stream to where it looked like we were just remoting in.
And then next thing you know, hey.
Or like just reach across and like, oh, you want, here's your drink. Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And just like,
or like, oh, hey, is that, what drink you got there? And I'd be like, oh, I have this. And like, can I have a sip? Oh, yeah, sure. And then suddenly, oh, wait, what?
Super Dylan. Hi, hello.
Good
morning. Thank you so much for being here.
So
yes.
Well, Dylan is in. That's Dan, right?
No, that's Super Dylan. That is Diana, the 5e Neverland.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay,
yeah, that's Dan. No, it's not Dylan. I don't know why when I looked at Dylan, I'm like, that's not Dylan. Wait, no, it's Diana.
Yeah.
Why am I saying? I'm just so.
I still love. There is a Progressive commercial. I don't know if you've seen it.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Progressive. I swear to God, it's Super Dylan. It's the same. Like I have a picture of Super Dylan hanging out with me at PAX for a hot second, wearing the same sweater as this animated video game character. And I was like, I tweeted, and I was just like, are you getting likeness rights for this at all? Like it is the funniest shit.
Uncanny.
Yes.
Oh man, but you know what makes me so sad? Actually, Diana would have been my very first like Twitter like someone who I adore.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to meet because last year in March, my wife and I, before like knowing this about the pandemic and everything, right? It was just then kind of people were getting aware of it. We had already planned out an East Coast trip, and we went to New York. It didn't work out, but I reached out. Dylan's fine, remember that. But yeah, and I reached out to Dan. I'm like, hey, I'm in town. I would love to treat you and meet you and so. And we were all so close, but she was so absolutely kind and generous and just like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, in my mind, and still to this day, I feel the same. But at the time, I'm just like, they're amazing, and I am a nobody, and yet they said hi, and they said, they were like, yes, I'll hang out, and I was like, oh my god, is this happening? And so I was having this big fangirl moment. I was like, oh, I get to meet. Didn't work out, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it.
Like the photos for PAX 2019 are just like an exposition in I have no chill.
Yeah.
Just no like.
We were supposed to get pizza.
Uncomfortable smiles of like, oh shit, I'm in a photo with this person, and I feel bad because like I love those pictures with those people, but I'm like, I look like such a no chill goober, just like much goober, zero chill.
Yeah, I feel the same. But yes, I might actually be coming out to New York again, so.
Met so many people at PAX 19. Realized I missed so many more. Danny, yeah. Brutal Dan. Danny plays games formerly.
Yes.
I saw Danny across the pavilion, the expo area at PAX 2019. And I was like, there's Danny. But Danny was being Danny and just very exuberant and playing games and doing this. I'm like, Danny's busy.
I'm not disturbed.
I won't bother Danny. And then I told Danny that. And he was like, what the actual fuck? I'm mad you didn't come say hi to me.
Right? Because you have to understand, like, all of these amazing people are just so genuinely kind and excited to meet everybody.
And they're just...
So there's never a realistic... Unless, obviously, be polite about it. And you don't, like, if they're having a private moment of, like, they're eating food and, like... Don't like just barge in and be like, hey,
yeah.
And you're like, hey, hi, can I just eat my meal first? Kind of a situation. Because everybody needs that relaxation time and kind of just recharge their batteries. But if they're in that mode, everybody wants to say hi to each other. I'm like, even me, like, someone was like too nervous to say hi to me, and I'm like, please say hi to me.
There was
Please
a
come and say
couple of
hi.
people in 2019 with me. They were like, and I'm like, "Oof, oof, I'm gonna need you to
It's
just.
okay.
It's
You want a hug? Oh,
I'm
listen.
like, I am just a person. I still remember was a Glamour Bomb Live, Cora on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was like the big,
Oh, Cora.
oh
Yeah, I know Cora,
Lord,
yeah.
situation. I was going to see that, the Maker panel with Eris and all of them. And like I walk down the stairs and come around the corner and I hear somebody screech my name. And I look over and here she comes like a panther haul-assing. And it was the strangest interaction with like the most cartoonish physics I've ever seen in my life. Because she is just haul-assing at me.
Nox!
And like she gets 3 feet from me and comes to the most cartoonish dead stop, like physically impossible dead stop, right like 3 feet from me, and just goes, "Can I hug you?"
And that's it. Just ask.
Yeah, and it was
don't be the person who
it
just
was
like
like
jumps on them without asking them,
perfect-
gain permission.
the
you know.
perfect first interaction of just like it's a hilarious story. I didn't know the human body was capable of arresting momentum that
What a great way to put it.
yeah, just like stopped. It would like this. I'm like it. Like I was jarred. I was like, "How the fuck did you actually do that? That's physically impossible. Like the brakes on my car aren't even that good." And then just the politeness of like, "May I hug you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I need your consent first. I am
Absolutely,
not
yeah.
just gonna touch as
Yeah.
much as I know you in the online sphere. I'm not just gonna touch a fucking stranger at a convention.
Yeah.
Don't touch strangers at conventions.
Yeah.
Cosplay is not consent.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But and the thing is, sometimes you don't need that verbal consent in the sense of like, if I have my arms open, it means come give me
Yeah,
a
I mean,
hug.
if you do that, like the
Yeah.
and then they return the like
See, that's still a form of consent.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is a different way of communicating.
respecting the force field of consent.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Don't-
like, I love giving hugs to people. It is an endorphin rush for me.
Mhm. I love hugging, but also I will tailor my hugs. Like if you like, "May I hug you?" Also, will you pick me up? I will do that.
Yeah.
Like if you
yeah.
need your back popped, I will do that.
Well, I feel cheated.
Well, you didn't
hugged-
ask.
I've hugged you twice so far, and that has not happened.
You didn't break my back, Daddy. Wait, what?
Well, I mean, but
There's that brand.
I mean, but I mean, same.
I will absolutely crack your back, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And also, good morning, Noah.
Did I miss the
Okay.
chat spamming some happy birthdays yet? No, I don't know what's that. Well, my birthday is next week.
No, it was Shannon's birthday is today. So we
Happy
spammed-
birthday! Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Happy birthday, Shannon!
So,
Fellow
yeah.
Virgo! Hi, September fellow baby! That came out weird. But you know what I meant. Hi!
Was there other birthdays as well?
Well, yeah, say hi if it is.
Yeah.
I'm about to celebrate it.
Oh, there's that horny bell.
Oh, there it is. We're ringing 207 rings.
Yes.
Ah.
My mod threw together a horny bell real
That's
fast
so
because
cool.
I'm really bad with innuendo.
Yeah.
There's Shannon. Hey, love. But yes, let's see. 1024. Let's see who we can raid on the way out.
Yeah. Let's see who's up.
16-bit Eric.
Ah,
Awkwardish
Awkwardish
Panda.
Panda's
Nice,
there.
nice. 16-bit Eric messaged me and wants to play Sea of Thieves, and I don't know how I feel about that.
That's
Not till Friday. I remember. Is your birthday Friday, Ash? Because I need to put that in my calendar.
Wait, you're September 10th. You're one day after me. Hey, fellow birthday sharers. It's great. It's fun when you find out other people share this like similar birthdays.
Mm-hmm. Nope. What do you mean nope?
No, what?
What's going on? What did I miss? There's some context here that I'm
Yeah,
missing.
no, I think I missed something.
Mischievous Red. Got it.
What's that?
Mischievous Red is his fiance.
Ah.
They announced their engagement.
Congratulations!
I tried so hard. Like, y'all announced You asked, and y'all announced, and I'm in the middle of like fucking divorce tirades. So like I do that fucking marriage and ex-wife, and y'all walk in the room. I'm like, but also it's fun though, and it can be perfect, and I love you,
Yeah.
and yours is gonna be so much better.
Yeah, just as long as you have that mutual respect.
Oh Lord, it was hard not to go on just giant like I hate marriage tirades, and like, oh shit, they're getting married.
I didn't mean it that way.
But not yours though. Yours will be perfect and beautiful and loving, and
Yeah.
but like no.
Just don't be that type of a person,
Oh,
and you'll be fine.
Yes, y'all love each other.
Yeah.
So trust me.
So many comments.
So little time. Please continue. Yes. But okay, so we're gonna raid on into Awkwardish Panda. So
Yeah.
first, I'm gonna throw up, since we didn't do a break, because I usually do a midstream break, but I didn't want to waste any time. Since I didn't do that, I'm gonna go ahead and shunt us over to the advertising panel for all my beautiful maker friends. If you ever want to put if you want to get me a 2000 by 2000 little KP ad, I will definitely throw it in here. And then after that, we will raid on into Awkwardish Panda. Thank you all so much for being here.
And then after that, we'll go on into something super, super fun.
Yes.
As in a photo shoot.
Woo-hoo.
We're doing it. So look forward to that. That's my big thing. That's what I'm going to announce.
Yes.
Is we're gonna do a fun shoot.
Prepare to break the internet. But yeah, on the way out, if you want to give some links, give a little streamer outro.
Everyone, if you don't know who I am, I'm KP, also known as KP11 Studios on all your social medias. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch. Well, not really much on Twitch. Hopefully one day again. But on Instagram, I do photography a lot. I do portrait and cosplay photography. I get on. Oh yeah, they're gonna be on Patreon. All of those are gonna be on. So I'm on Patreon. I'm on Instagram. I do cosplay photography and things like that. I also play TTRPG games on multiple channels. I'm on Trooper SJP's channel on Fridays, where we play a game called City of Light and Dark, where we are basically Light and Shadow. Sorry, not Light and Dark. Light and Shadow, where we're a bunch of undercover agents fighting Nazi regime in Nazi-occupied France in the 1940s, and it's I love it. I play a character named Prince Pritam Singh, who also goes by Dr. Pritam Singh because he doesn't really normally care for his royal title. However, I love him so much. So if that is something you want to see me a little bit more regal, that'll be there. On Sundays, I'm guesting on several episodes for Cobalt Press's into the Southlands game, where I play a Raven folk named Shani, who is actually based off of the god Shani in my culture, in Hindu mythology. And there's a reason, there's a connection why I picked that specifically. I can explain that at another time, but I enjoy those. I'm constantly guesting on various things, so keep an eye out. The best way is just follow me on Twitter. That's where I constantly update about things. If you love dad jokes, I've been on a tirade with that. So if you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but I'm not sorry. But yeah, that's it.
Happy Capster, hi.
Thank you for everything. But yes, my Patreon is where I generally post a lot of my photography and behind the scenes and related things like that. It's a little bit more barebone currently, simply because I'm not streaming as much anymore. I need to update the tier, but just for $3, you get access to a lot of that behind the scenes stuff. I do a lot of pre-edit shots. I show off how they look before edits and then after edits, and all of that goes on there mostly first before I ever release it publicly. So there's plenty on there that has not been released for a while. So go check it out. If that's something you want to see, please support if you can. But no worries if you can't, right? But yeah, that's it. Me in a nutshell.
Woo! We are gonna raid on into Awkwardish Panda friends after we watch these ad slides from my beautiful friends and members of the Found Family stream team. I love you all dearly. Thank you for being here. Thank you, KP, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Today's going to be an amazing day, y'all.
It's going to be great.
Yeehaw. Go drink some water. and then we're gonna go over to Panda's house. Be nice.